Tardive. Yeah, and I was talking about the freshman year when I quit. Coach Tardive actually sent players to my house. He talked to me himself and he told me not to quit, stay at it. And he also taught me hard work, never give up. And I just like to thank him for that. He gave me what I didn't have. It was a big family.
The first time I met Coach Tardive, I was in clinic football, I was 7 years old. We were at the banquet, and for about 4 or 5 years, I always known Coach Tardive to be that man who comes to the banquet and talks forever and ever and ever and ever. And then I didn't realize until I got older what he was talking about. Basically, what he was talking about molded me to be the person that I am, the athlete that I became. I was always little, still am little, but my heart, through to Coach Tardive and Coach Hickok, my heart was bigger than me. I played with all the big boys and didn't care. I was under 50 pounds my senior year, and Coach Tardive gave me the privilege of carrying the ball for Dover as a starting running back, and I'll never forget that. Thank you, Coach Tardive.
Coach Tardive to me was probably the single most influential father figure that 90% of us as players ever had. Whether we had fathers or we didn't, or if our fathers lived with us or they didn't, or if our fathers had jobs to where they weren't around, Coach Tardive was our second father. He was our father, he was our guidance counselor, he was our coach. He played many roles and he played them all very well. I was told by Coach Hip one time, well after I got out of high school, that the entire time that Coach Tardive was a head coach at Dover, he never slept in a bed. He slept on a recliner with a cordless phone next to him so he could answer the phone and get us out of trouble when we got into trouble, and we got into trouble often. Coach Tardive was the type of person, he dealt with each of his players a little differently. Some of them he patted on the back, some of them he kicked in the ass. I was one of those players that I got the tough love version of Coach Tardive, and I wasn't able to appreciate it until I was in my middle 20s, and all of a sudden the light bulb went on and I figured out what reason he had for doing what he did.
One of the guys that I most admire as I'm coaching now, my 17th year with the youth program. Really thankful that, still in contact with him and he comes around and gives some advice. Going through my high school experience, just trying to learn some different things as I was going through. Mr. Tardive made you believe into what you had to be to become a champion, or somewhat ready for that challenge every week that we came across some of these teams that we were doing. Our teams that we faced those years, again, we were a Group 2 school, going to a lot of Group 4 schools. I remember we were scrimmaging back then, Del Barton, and going against some real tough teams in West Essex and Hanover Park and West Morris. Definitely some teams that were really tough at that time. And, he expected nothing less of us. He really wanted us to come out and perform, and we did. And we had great teams then, and that's because of his coaching and his philosophies and what was making us a better team all the time. And again, we really appreciate everything you've done, and hopefully you can still keep giving us that advice. Thanks again.